Good day, everybody. This is a different video. So I'm in the midst of doing the December forecasts. First thing I would say, I don't really rush to get stuff out on the first of the month anymore, because for me, astrological periods don't go from the 1st to the 30th or 31st of the month. So when I do an outlook, it's not necessarily a 30-day one. It may be a 15-day, it may be a 50-day one. That's the first thing. So just stick with that. What this video is about, I've been wanting to make it for a few months really, is anybody can read tarot. Anybody. You don't need any skill. Let me quantify that. The kind of reading I'm talking about is asking simple questions. So not like, what should I do? Or, what's my life purpose? But let's take one of the more common questions that gets asked. Well, let's take two questions. The first one is, maybe you're in a kind of a new relationship and you're not really sure about the other person's intent or the other person's motives. Or you may have met someone and perhaps they're not, so forthcoming. Now, you can use certain tarot decks to give you an insight into what's going on. Okay. And you, first of all, need a tarot deck that's quite pictorial. So the Rider-Waite deck is ideal. The deck that I normally use to do my work and the readings on here, the Thoth deck, it's not really pictorial. Okay. So as you can see, this is a very kind of, it doesn't tell you a lot unless you know about tarot symbolism. So this is a kind of tarot 101. Maybe you'll get a deck for Christmas, or maybe you're thinking about getting a deck, or maybe you've had one lying around for years, or, that you've never touched. It needs to have kind of pictures on it. The next thing you need to do is take out the major arcana cards. Okay, because we're dealing with everyday stuff. So the major arcana cards, they're not going to help you. Okay, they're going to confuse you. You may also want to take out the kings, queens, knights, and pages as well. So that means you'll be left with about 40 odd cards, rather like most oracle decks. So what I'm going to do here, and I haven't taken the major arcana cards out, so I will skip over a few cards. I'm just going to give you a for instance. All right, a for instance. So first thing you've got to do is really form the question in your mind. What is it you actually want to ask? And bear in mind also that what you are told you might not like. So for instance, if it's, will the person that I've just met, be in a relationship with me, or will they call me, or will an ex contact me? And you may well get no. And I have to be perfectly straight with you people watching this. If you're asking those questions, particularly if you're paying money to readers to kind of have those questions answered, you know the answer. All right. If a person's not with you, then if they wanted to be with you, they'd be with you. Okay. But sometimes there are extenuating circumstances, like they're married to someone else. And I laugh, but believe me, that's not as crazy as it first sounds. So let's ask a hypothetical question. Will I get that job that I've applied for? I've spent months or years looking for this position. It finally came up in the positions vacant ads. I applied for it, went for the interview. The interview was great, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. So let's see what's going to happen. All right. Now, this is totally hypothetical, but I just want to show you, A, kind of how to do it, and B, the tarot cards themselves are just pieces of card. There's no wisdom inherent in the cards, but the symbolism that they contain, they tap into your subconscious knowing. Now, your subconscious knowing, there's kind of two sides of the subconscious. Stick with me, all right? I know your attention span is short, but stick with me just for a minute. A big part of your subconscious dictates how you act, how you respond, and it's the subconscious, so you're not even aware of it. People say, like, why did you act like that? I don't know, I just kind of, all right. But the other part that I'm talking about, the higher self, as we call it, that will guide you if you can learn to listen. And the best way to hear it or see it is through a pictorial system like tarot. That's all it is. It's a way of tapping into your subconscious higher self. So the question, and I have not applied for a job, so I'm now pretending, okay? Maybe you're watching this and you've applied and you're waiting. So maybe this is for you. Get yourself a free reading. Happy days. Will I hear back from that job I applied for? I'm pretending I'm asking for someone else, right? Maybe I am. So here we've got, well, so that's a major card, so we don't want to worry about that. That's a major card. That's a, okay. So this, first of all, then, apologies for my green screen. This is the Nine of Cups. Now that's a good start. The Nine of Cups is abundance, kind of happiness, being comfortable, being satisfied. That's quite good, isn't it? So here we see, let's look at the imagery, right? Here we see somebody and there's kind of this row of 9 cups on this platform behind them. And they seem to be kind of fairly, you know, stable. Their arms are crossed there. They're stable. They've got a wide, stable stance. So for me, this is someone that's very solid. And I'm saying this needs to be you, like sit tight. Get yourself comfortable, learn patience, my friend. Okay, learn patience, because, like, you know, this is a good omen. So maybe you're just being a little bit, maybe the interview was only last week and they've interviewed hundreds, and you just got to wait for the cream to rise to the top, right? So the next card is okay. So the next card then is the Nine of Swords. Now this is very different in comparison, isn't it? But this is a great card, okay? So literally here we've got somebody that's woken up in the middle of the night and they're kind of maybe woken up from a nightmare or a set of erroneous thoughts. But if you look, and my green screen won't probably let me show you, but if you look very carefully here and Google this image if you can, okay? This bedspread here, this duvet or sheet, is a patchwork made up of pomegranates. What the hell is that all about? Well, a pomegranate is a symbol of luxury, abundance, good fortune and health. Again, so if you get out of your head and stop thinking, oh, what if, and look at what's right in front of you, good times, baby. Things are looking good. So we're going to take one more card. Major Arcana. 3 of Cups. Yay, celebration. Literally, celebration. Party on, okay? This is great. I love this iteration of this card. 2 women and a man getting drunk, dancing. You know what's going to happen. All right, it's the Christmas office party all over again. Not this year, folks. Okay, so all's well that ends well. There will be cause for celebration. So that's how you do it. Let's take another random question. And you know what? If you're watching this and you think, I'd like a question answered, well, if I get enough, maybe I'll do a little live. So let's take another question then. Will my ex come back to me? It's a question, sadly, as a professional tarot reader, if I get asked that, it makes me kind of go, oh, because I'm probably gonna have to tell you no, you know. But that's unfortunately one of the things about being a professional tarot reader, is that you sometimes have to give an uncomfortable truth to people. But let's ask that question. Will that person come back to me? Now, before you answer that question for yourself, you might want to think about this. Why were the reasons that you split up? Did that person treat you with the ultimate respect? Were they loving towards you? Were they considerate? Probably not. So why do you want them back? Why do you believe that you need to be treated like that? That's really the question to ask. Anyway, we'll get to that perhaps later on. So will this person come back is the question I'm asking for someone else. So this is the Two of Discs. Well, it's got a very profound meaning, the Two of Discs, but in this instant, in this context, we're looking at a jester, we're looking at a joker, we're looking at a player. You know, this is a dude that wears a big a big hat. What's it covering up? In English, we have a term for this kind of guy, a knobhead, right? So this is a joker. You're dealing with a player. Next up, well, the Ten of Swords. Okay, pretty much it's dead. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. If you're watching this hoping to get some kind of solace, I do apologise, but you know deep down, don't you? I would also say that, if you're doing a reading for somebody and you're working at this level, then best not to laugh when this card comes up. But it's just, tarot is amazing, as is your higher self, your subconscious. And when you shuffle the cards, the theory is that your subconscious higher self puts the cards in the position to tell you what you already know, as a confirmation. Nothing, if ever you get a tarot reading from anybody, it should only tell you what you already know or suspect. Okay, you can't use tarot to tell fortunes. You can't. That's it. I'm going to get a load of hate for that, but it's the truth. Okay, so it's finished. We always do 3 because 3 is a good number. Okay, now focus on lifting yourself up, get back on your horse, get your hat back on, get your glad rags on, and get out there and show the world the best version of you. Okay, leave this joker where they need to be, in the past. Six of Wands is a fantastic card. It is a card about making new connections. So I would epilogue that reading with the instruction to, move in different circles. Ask yourself now, the question is, why are you attracted to jokers and players? And maybe raise your aim a little bit more. So there are many kind of questions you could ask, but it's about the symbolism. So let's just pick some random cards just to cue you in. And there are other decks that are quite pictorial. All right, so you may have there's as many decks as there are probably days of the week, maybe even more. So find one that speaks to you just as it does. What is this image? So let's just take, let's take this. Okay, so yeah, it's a heart that's been stabbed 3 times, but what does that actually mean? Well, behind it there are clouds, there seems to be rain. Okay, there's not a lot going on in the background, so this could be a time to really work on healing your heart. Maybe stop looking out for outside distraction and heal that heart. There is a deeper symbolism to tarot, and if you're interested in that, I do have an online course, Learn the Tarot, which you can go to the website, and the introduction lesson is free. You can look at that if you're interested. But let's take another card. Yeah, okay, so again, quite randomly, the 3 of Discs. Now, it's a 3. Discs relates to the material experience. What we see here is a craftsman who's just kind of done this incredible bit of stonemasonry. And here we've got a church official and some other official, and they are judging this work to be worthy of payment. So this is a card that says you're going to be recognized, you're going to be recompensed for what you've done. There may even be promotional progress as you move along the line. But it is it's very, very timely. Saturn, old school stuff, rules and regulations, and Jupiter, expansion, new ways of doing things. So if this card comes up for you, if you're asking what should I be focused on at the moment, show the world the best of you, and get out there and be recognized and recompensed for it. It's a progress card. So if you've got a tarot deck laying around and you've never used it because you think, I don't know how to, and the little book's too small to read, just have a look at the images, okay? Because on a very, very basic level, they can help you along with guidance, you know, things to focus on. How can I do a better job of, you know, of self-development? That's a great question. In fact, let's answer that one right now. I'll ask that myself. How can I improve my chances of self-development? We can all ask that, can't we? Let's see what we've got. So that's a major arcana card. Well, this is the 10 of discs. It's quite nice. There's a lot going on in the 10 of discs. So 10 is a collection of the 1 and the 0, the something and the nothing, the beginning and the end, the start and the finish. But we see like generations here. So there's an old guy sat back, just chilling out. There's a younger couple that seem to be kind of moving into the picture more. This is a card that says enjoy your wealth, enjoy what you've got. Now that could be a wealth of books that you've yet to read, a wealth of games you need to play on your games console, or you've just got some money saved that you just keep sitting on. You know, go buy that, whatever it is, or have that, you know, experience you want to have. Or maybe, you know, you've got a huge, great big house that you only use one room of. So, you know, liquidate your assets and enjoy it. But it's also a card that says step back and enjoy what you have. Take more time to appreciate. Isn't it funny how so many of us, we work so hard to pay our rent or pay our mortgage, and we spend 14 or 15 hours a day out of that place to try and afford to pay for that place. And, you know, then we have a holiday, don't we? We run around the world for a week or 2 weeks to somewhere else, and we sit on a beach and go night clubbing or whatever we do, you know, and then we come back and spend the rest of the year paying that off. It's funny, isn't it? Take some time out to enjoy what you have. That's a good message for all of us. Take some time out to enjoy what you have, which is what I'm going to do now. And I urge you to do the same, unless you're watching this at work. Remember, clear your browser history. Okay, thanks very much for watching. If this is a new channel for you, check out, I've got loads of videos, most of which are far more serious than this, but it's just something I wanted to make because it just lets you into the mysterious world of tarot. It's not mysterious at all. There's many more layers to it, but it isn't a mystery and anybody can use it. There you go, folks. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you all soon.